Everyone to this whole healing miracle experiment call. Cornelia, how long have we been doing this for? I'm trying to remember exactly.
The cause, 3 years now, more than 3 years.
3 years, 3 years of meeting
Wow.
and kind of like meeting around a fire and discussing the ancient secrets, but how we're applying it. Dr. Am, he had a vision that there would be basically a, um, a community that would be living, learning, achieving, loving, celebrating. We were right before the call, we always do a little bit of silence and we share what our intention is. Dr. Stephen, you want to share what your intention was on today's call? Oh, we lost you. There we go.
I was saying this morning, I bought this handicap van and I picked up 6 adults and their dogs today to go to the dog park. And it was just so much fun. So much joy.
Yes. So definitely sharing the fun. That's a very, very good intention. I told Dr. Snow, that's why we want you on every call. And Vinay Soni in the house today. What's your intention for today?
Well, I just want to relive the memory of both community members. They have been to the Nepal, especially with our home kids, to be with them, to hug them, and to just be with them. So I just want to relive that my memories.
Yeah, it's so interesting because almost everyone that came on this trip to Nepal this time said the same thing. We think we're here to help them, but honestly, it's so much different than that. Really, being with them is a great medicine. Just like Dr. Stephen taking 6 dogs to the dog park, and just the joy of some of the simple moments, just to be with these kids. Where Dr. Naram, this picture on the back of the book was taken in Nepal, and so not far from there, up the mountain. I remember the first time he took me to these kids, and he made it very clear, Clint, this is your responsibility, as if these are your kids, to take care of them. My master gave me this responsibility. I don't know why, but I just know that we need to. And then now this week we had a real beautiful experience, and allowing our hearts to expand even more to another orphanage through Ancient Secrets Foundation. We're supporting 6 right now. But it was the first time that I had met these other children, and the situation was honestly heartbreaking and powerful. And to see the group come together and all the miracles that are already happening is amazing. So just going back to what Dr. Stephen was saying, how did you phrase it again, Dr. Stephen?
Sharing the fun.
Sharing the fun. Yes. The first time I ever did, I didn't do any fundraiser for the Mountain Children Home kids, but I always did fundraisers. So we want to do a fundraiser today, in a sense where, even if it's not contributing money, but sending love and focusing and celebrating all the impulses of love. So anyone who's already supported in either sending a video of I love you and I'm with you, in honor of Krishna, who thought of that originally, and then also, or those who have contributed in even $1 or more, everything matters. We just want to celebrate the miracles and share in the fun and raise the fun. So I like that, Dr. Stephen. Cornelia, what did you say your intention was for today?
I just wanted to have the feeling the love again. I was just in meeting all the children in both homes, the mountain homes as well as the new orphanage, and connecting with these children was so powerful. And just to see them again and see the fun and the joy that they have. And we were dancing and singing and all of this, and they took us up to a waterfall, and it was just so much fun. And they are so present when you are there, and seeing how with the little they have, they are just happy children. And we would probably consider them as poor, but what they have is the love, and the love among themselves, the love from the parents that they have. And to see that is so powerful, because often in the West, we just think children need so much stuff, but you don't. And it was so obvious with these children that with the little they have, they can be as happy and as fun, loving as you can imagine. And it was so powerful. And I miss them already.
Yeah. Well, we do have some updated clips. We were just there yesterday, and I see that Aaron and Heidi are on the call. Yes. So fun that they're here with me now in Nepal. Can you unmute yourself, Aaron and Heidi, and just say hi and any intention you have for today's call in particular?
Yeah, Leslie.
Oh,
I'm on
Phoebe.
Zoom, you know.
So good to hear you as well, Phoebe. Okay, just 1 second. All right, let's see, Heidi, if I can maybe. Oh, there you are. Fantastic. Wow, you still got the mark on your forehead from the temple earlier.
I
I love
kept it. Yeah, I kept it. My intention for the call is just to be really present. And what I've taken away so far from this trip is just the beauty of the people here. You know, to any encounter, they bow and bring their hands to their heart and say namaste. And I think it's just the heart of the people that I'm going to take away from this. So yeah, just to be really present on the call with love.
So beautiful. Well, my strong feeling is that everyone on this call will have your heart expanded, that we'll all leave inspired, that we'll leave better people. And what if there's one ancient secret that we discover, that you discover in a way that is easier to live, in a way that it changes your being? And I have a strong feeling that on today's call, we'll all have that gift and that blessing. Oh, Renara, so good to see you on. And anyone who's been here with me this week, or who has ever been here with me or with Dr. Naram, just would love your heart around this as well. And anyone who hasn't been, we want you to be here through this moment, through this intention, as a part of applying and living the ancient secrets. And we'll talk about why that is, and how basically become part of it. So many miracles when we just let love guide us, and so many inspiring things have already been happening. Oh, so fun. So let's do this. Dr. Stephen, one more time. I know maybe you're not able to come on, but your intention one more time. I just want to hear it because I want to have everyone comment on it a little bit.
Is to share the fun. I had a patient, his line was, if it's not fun, it's better left undone. And I live to have fun and be silly. It's okay to be silly.
Yeah, you do live by that. So I want to see real quick. Oh, I can't hear you because it's coming in and out, but go ahead, Dr. Stephen. I'm going to be quiet so you can share whatever. Go ahead.
Renara and I laughed so much at Malad Clinic, and I would just kept looking at her and we'd laugh together. And I had so much fun, and we were just being silly.
Yeah, so fun. Oh, here she is. Renara, oh, we almost had you there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's see if we can unmute you.
Yeah, just Dr. Steve mentioned about that. I'm laughing already. That's true. He has this talent and absolutely amazing ability to make you laugh from nothing, you know. And actually, with me, it is not difficult. Yeah, Dr. Steve, it was not difficult.
Yeah.
Had this little thing, new people were coming and everyone was greeting them and everything. And I kept walking by her like I saw her for the first time ever. And she would just such a good time.
Well, good. Well, along this line of sharing the fun, what's one thing in your life? I want you to post in the chat one thing in your life that's fun right now. Something that's fun for you. And I'm actually going to call on a couple people. Levi, who was here with us in India as well, in Nepal, I'm sorry, in Nepal. Levi, I don't know if you're there, if you could share one thing that's fun in your life right now. I don't know if it's possible or not, if you're able to come on. If not, no problem. We can bring you back on. I'm just reading a couple of these. Helen says, oh, I missed this laugh. Talking about you, Renara. Yeah. Dr. Susan, keeping the inner child alive is so much fun. Love that. Let's see. Luke, being here with this community. Ah, nice, Luke. Stephen, he says, my life has gone to the dogs. That's funny. Leonore, being a witness of this fun. FUN, fundamental understanding, not necessary. Katie, this. Raven, these Sunday calls are fun for me. Ah, thank you, Raven. Lori, rock climbing. Esther Francis, laughing with you all at the delight of experiencing and celebrating fun. Jules, laughing with friends all around me all the time. Jules, so good. Actually, let's see here real quick. I don't know if you're not on camera right now, but we'll see if we can bring you on a little bit later. Michelle, so fun to dance to any music with my granddaughter. Robin Lee, picking nettles and adding them to my mung soup and other delicious food. I love it. Dr. Susan, playing with my granddaughter. Yes. Belle, my intention is to be in Nepal with all of you next year. I saw that from a couple of you. So saw it from Susan Padrad. That would be so awesome. Kathleen, laughing with friends. Renara, I cannot commercialize my laugh, Helen. Okay. Marianne, I love to laugh. Cornelia, water slides with my grandchildren. Susie, enjoying the spring and taking bazinga for walks and listening to the kids laugh and play in the park. Ina, life itself. Wow, Ina, nice. Belle, happy for no reason at all. Oh man, beautiful. Jerem, having hilarious phone mail with my ancient secrets colleagues. Good. Phoebe, I'm happy to find you people. Hello from Africa. Phoebe, I don't know if you can come on video. Phoebe, are you able to start your video? We'd love to see you and celebrate you joining us from Kenya. How cool is that? Let's see, Phoebe, if you can open your video. There we go. Phoebe, welcome to us from Kenya.
Hello, greetings from Kenya. I love you all.
Oh, we love you. How did you hear about this call, Phoebe?
A great friend, a lady who is sharing love by the name Renara Renaconda, shared your link with me. She is one of our supporters in our community here in Kenya. I invite you all, people, come to Kenya, come, all people come, we invite you.
So beautiful. Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you for your enthusiasm. I'm excited for you to be on the call today. In fact, as anyone else is new, just go ahead and put in the chat if you're new. We just want to welcome you with our hearts wide open. Now, when I think about fun, I think about many things, and I think about how fun Dr. Naram was. He was funny and he was so fun to be with, There's a lot of serious things we'd face as people would come from all over the world with different chronic and acute health challenges and oftentimes not finding solutions anywhere else. So they came with a heaviness. And by the end of it, they'd feel not only a peace, but oftentimes they'd be laughing. And laughter is a great, great healer. Now, I also find that one of the gifts Dr. Ram gave me, among so many other things, was introducing me to these orphan kids and tying my heart to this place in this way. So we want to start off the video. We want to start off by playing a short video that will bring you into the hearts of the situation that's happening right now this week and the opportunity we have to become part of a miracle for some of these kids right now. And so, Cornelia, if you can just cue that up and we'll play this. It's just, you'll find that I just want you to actually, even if you've seen the video before, do an experiment of just dropping in your heart and feeling the emotion, just observing the emotions that come to you as you see the faces of these kids and as you hear the powerful story of Binita. All right, Cornelia, do you need, oh, there we go.
हामी छुट्न गाह्रो भइरहेछ हैन सकेसम्म यसलाई कसरी मिलाउने भनेर ट्राई गरिरहेछु
I met Binita this week as I'm guiding a group from around the world who are visiting some of the sacred sites and mystical masters behind the book Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. Now, I came originally to Nepal 14 years ago and have come ever since, helping orphan kids and meeting some of the mystical masters with Dr. Naram. But in all of that time of coming here, I've never heard a case as compelling as Binita's. All of our group fell so much in love, our hearts touched so much by the urgency of the situation that we knew we had to do something now.
आजभन्दा 15 वर्ष अगाडि 15-16 वर्ष अगाडि मैले काठमाडौँ घुम्न आएको थिएँ म र त्यो न्युजमा लेखिएको थियो 5 जना बच्चाको हिस्ट्री र त्यो न्युज चाहिँ एकदमै हिमाली भेगको बच्चाहरू जबकि काठमाडौँदेखि बागलुङसम्म गएर पनि 4 दिनसम्म हिँड्नुपर्ने रहेछ एकदम टाढाको बच्चाहरूको बारेमा थियो त्यो 5 जना मध्येमा चाहिँ लगभग त्यो एउटा बच्चा चाहिँ खाना नपाएर मर्ने अवस्थामा पुगेको रहेछ अनि मैले त्यतिखेर मैले डिसिजन गरेँ कि अब यो बच्चाहरूलाई चाहिँ म एडप्ट गर्छु भन्ने भयो मलाई र म त्यतिखेर एकदमै सानो पनि थिएँ र पत्रकारहरूबाट म यहाँ नजिकै हाम्रो यहाँ बानेश्वर 3 कुने नेरी गएको थिएँ अनि मलाई त्यतिखेर उहाँहरू सबैजनाले हाँसेर उडाइदिनु भएको थियो.
Can you imagine? She was only 16. They said, how can a kid raise kids? And not only that, they put fear into her. They said, if you take this responsibility and one of them dies, you could go to jail, so don't do it. And she did it anyway.
अनि मैले त्यतिखेर भनेको थिएँ मसँग केही पनि छैन तर मेरो मन छ यो बच्चाहरूलाई मैले केही गर्न सक्छु भनेर म यहाँ आएको छु र त्यसपछि लगभग 5-6 महिना बितिसकेको थियो र फोन आइसकेपछि मलाई त्यहाँको चाहिँ त्यो बागरुन भन्ने ठाउँको चाहिँ गाविसको सचिव हुनुहुँदो रहेछ र मलाई फोन आएपछि उहाँले भन्नुभयो बच्चा लास्ट स्टेजमा छ प्लिज तपाईँ आइदिनुहोस् यो बच्चा अब बाँच्छ बाँच्दैन थाहा छैन त्यही भएर तपाईँ जसरी भए पनि आज भोलि नै आइदिनुहोस् भन्नुभयो. अब संरक्षण गरेर बसाउँदै गर्दाखेरि मलाई हरेक व्यक्तिले मलाई च्यालेन्जको रूपमा हेरिरहेको थियो अनि मैले त्यो 5 जना मध्ये बच्चामा एउटा बच्चा चाहिँ मैले 6 महिना हस्पिटल राख्नु पर्यो किनभने उसलाई कुपोषण लागेको थियो अनि मलाई कतिजनाले चाहिँ तिमीलाई अझै सजिलो हुनको लागि बरु रजिस्टर गर पनि भन्नुभयो अनि मैले रजिस्टर भनेको के हो भनेर उहाँहरूसँग सल्लाह राखेर गभर्नमेन्टसँग लिङ्क हुने कोसिस गरेँ रजिस्टर गर्ने कोसिस गरेँ तर गभर्नमेन्टले 5 जना बच्चा राखेर मात्र रजिस्टर हुँदैन भनेर भन्न थाल्नुभयो त्यही भएर सबैजनाले अब रजिस्टर गर्दाखेरि मेम्बरहरू चाहिन्छ सबैजनाले मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै ट्र्यापमा पारेर तिमीले यति बच्चा मात्रै राख्ने होइन तिमी एकदम ठुलो काम गर्दैछौ यसरी हुँदैन धेरै बच्चा राख्नुपर्छ कम्तीमा पनि यति राख्नुपर्छ भनेर मलाई जबरजस्ती गर्नुभएको थियो र मैले त्यतिखेरको अवस्थामा रजिस्टर गरेको थिएँ कसैले सिकाएर आवर चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्सन फाउन्डेसन नेपाललाई लगभग 15-16 जना बच्चाहरू राखेर दर्ता गरेको थिएँ र त्यसपछि हामीलाई एकदमै गाह्रो भएपछि मेरो अन्तिम अवस्था के थियो भने मैले मेरो हस्बेन्डलाई बाहिर पठाउनु पर्ने थियो र त्यो अवस्थामा मसँग पैसा पनि थिएन र मैले आफूले सुत्ने बेड आफ्नो रिङ यस्तो यस्तो बेचेर अहिले पनि मेरो सुन पसलमा मैले कति राखेको छु त्यहाँनिर अहिलेसम्म मैले निकाल्न पनि सकेको छुइनँ तर मैले त्यस्तो बेचेर मेरो हस्बेन्डलाई मैले बाहिर पठाएको थिएँ साउदी अरब 10 वर्षदेखि म भुइँमा सुतिरहेको छु अहिले पनि.
Benita is literally given everything, even selling her wedding ring and her bed just to put food on the table for the kids, sleeping on the floor for 10 years.
लगभग मेरो हस्बेन्ड पनि 10 वर्ष जति बाहिर बसिसक्नु भयो.
And then while her husband was in Saudi Arabia doing his best as a migrant worker, he got injured. So then he couldn't send any more money back to Benita to support the kids.
त्यो समस्याको कारणले गर्दाखेरि अब मैले एकदमै स्ट्रङ काम गर्नुपर्छ म एकदमै स्ट्रङ भएर काम गर्छु भनेर लागिरहेको छु र त्यो लकडाउनकै बेलामा मैले बच्चाहरूलाई के बनाउन पनि सिकाएको छु हैन उनीहरूले आफैले केही बनाओस् र मैले त्यो लगेर प्रत्येकलाई मैले लगेर बच्चाहरूको फन्डको लागि सपोर्ट होस् भनेर प्रयास पनि गरिरहेको छु. अब बच्चाहरूले देखिरहनु भएको छ आर्टहरू फर्स्ट टाइम गरेको छ हैन त्यही सपोर्टहरू पाउने छ भन्ने यिनीहरू आशा पनि बोकिरहेका छन् र अहिले मैले सोचेको थिइनँ कि बच्चाहरू आज मैले यसरी इन्जिनियर पढाउन सक्छु यहाँ होटल म्यानेजमेन्ट पढाउन सक्छु त्यही चेकले गर्दाखेरि होला म यो 7 नम्बरको घरसम्म छु आज किनभने चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्टले जहिले पनि बच्चाहरू राखेको ठाउँ कहिले सानो भयो भन्ने कहिले मैले हाउस रेन्टमा अब हुन्छ नि तिर्न नसक्ने छिटो हैन कहिले के बच्चाहरू धेरै भयो भनेर निकाल्दिने हामीलाई धेरै समस्याहरू परिरहेको थियो.
When Benita got this notification from the government, she pleaded with them, please help us. Give us at least 5 rooms and then I can run this organization. And they said, no, we're not here to help you. In fact, you have only 3 months to find a solution on your own. Otherwise, you have to quit this organization and leave these kids altogether.
किनभने म 14 वर्षदेखि उनीहरूसँग छु हामी छुट्न गाह्रो भइरहेछ हैन सकेसम्म यसलाई कसरी मिलाउने भनेर ट्राई गरिरहेछु.
Now, if you're anything like us, you want to know how you can help. One of the things that broke Benita's heart the most is that people have come over the years saying that they're going to help and they don't. Well, we want to stop that now. There's so many miracles already happening. I honestly think that she's going to be fine. But we have the honor to serve her or to be a part of this miracle, and so many miracles have been happening already. One person who's a friend of Ancient Secrets Foundation came and said that whatever you contribute, whatever you donate in the next week, she's going to match 100%. Another person said they'll cover all the administrative costs, so 100% of what you give goes to these orphan kids. And if you don't have money, please send love. One thing that people around the world are doing is just pulling out their phones and creating a selfie video saying to Benita and her family, "We love you and we're with you," and you can send that to us. And regardless of how you send love, whether it's financially or in your heart, we want to keep you updated of the progress. So give us your contact information. We'll send you updates about this powerful story and your part in helping make this miracle come true for Benita. I love the opening quote in this book. It's so powerful. It says, "I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you." I invite you to close your eyes and just see, what is love inspiring you to do now? And on behalf of Ancient Secrets Foundation, we commit that whatever comes in addition to the amount that's needed for Benita's immediate needs will go to support these kids long time in the future and many other orphan kids who are needing your help right now. I just want to say in this moment, from my heart to your heart, thank you. I love you, and thank you for letting love guide you.
Mm. Well, there have been so many miracles happening already. And one of them just happened, I would say, for me, it's a miracle. It just happened yesterday. Oh, was it yesterday? Maybe 2 days ago. Okay, I'm losing track of time a little bit, but we actually made it so the orphan home, which you guys have known for a long time, is the Mountain Children's Home. It's up in a mountain. And last week, Renara shared the powerful experience where she played music when both the homes came together. Well, a couple of days ago, we actually brought Benita's family up to the Mountain Children Home. And it was so beautiful to be up there with them and for them all to see the home of their friends, their new friends, and to get to know each other. We did name games and so many games where they could get to know each other. And then here's a picture, actually. This is just so beautiful. This is with Erod and Heidi and all the kids. You can see Marina there and Beverly. So beautiful. And then there's also a talent show. And so in honor of Dr. Steven saying we need to raise the fund, Cornelia, can you cue up a couple of these videos where you could see these kids? One home would perform something and the other home would perform something. And then it was go back and forth where these kids were just having so much fun inspiring us. And I'm going to share with you one of the most heart-touching miracles. I'm going to try and do it without crying. But first of all, Cornelia, can you cue up one of those videos? So awesome. Talking about raising the fun. Okay, Cornelia, can you cue the next one? It's so fun. Oh, I don't know what was more fun, watching the kids or watching Heidi and Aaron in the front row, just bursting with smiles and laughter and almost tears. Here's another one where these four, or let's see how many boys it was, but started it off, six boys. Well, we can learn some of those moves. So beautiful. Heidi, I just thought you could share a little bit about what was it like being there in that space of that creativity, that expression, that fun.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I think for me, having my background working with kids my whole life, it was similar to what Cornelia said. These kids are just so happy and playful and present, and being there is just so sweet. Their home is simple, beautiful and clean. It's on the top of a mountain. It was breathtaking. And just to be able to spend that time with them and to see how much joy You saw some of the dancing. It was just so sweet and so special. I didn't want to leave. It was just incredible.
Yeah. Well, talking about miracles, not only they got to share talents with each other, but touched my heart so much when Raj and the Mountain Children Home found out that these other children were about to lose their home. They said, "Oh, we want to do something to help raise money." For these other guys. So these beautiful, we don't call them orphan kids, we call them our kids, but these beautiful kids and the Mountain Children Home are creating more of these bracelets so that they can sell them, so they can help raise money to put it so that these other kids don't go homeless. And in fact, I don't know if it's okay with everyone here. I should have asked the committee that's in charge of the Sedona event, but just kind of informally, I'm committing that we buy at least 200 of these bracelets to make sure that we can give to everyone that comes to Sedona, so that on your arm is something that's just, to me, it's pure love. Like the orphan kids in the mountain home, they don't say, "I don't have anything, I can't give anything." They don't say, "But I'm just a poor orphan kid." No, they're in the abundance of love, in the possibility of being a part of a miracle just by letting love guide you. And so I'm so excited in Sedona to get that. And beautiful, Susan says, to get the art as well. That was another idea I think Marina or Beverly came up with, which is we'll pack our suitcases full. They made these slippers, they made art, they've made bags. We're gonna pack our bags full, bring it all to Sedona as well, so that way you have a chance to have something that they created, which is even better than just donating. It's actually giving them livelihood through what they've created and then inspiring us to create with love. I don't know. I just was sharing this at the dinner table with Heidi, Aaron, Poonam, where some of my friends went they got inspired actually in a dream to go to this area of the rainforest where they met these elders. And the elders said, "We actually called you here." You can imagine you have a dream, you go somewhere, they say, we're the ones that called you here. But if you're here to help us, you can go home. But if you're here because you realize that our destiny, our life is tied with yours, then stay and let's work together. And I feel that same way about these kids. And like I said in the video, I don't actually think, and they got Benita, she's a force of nature. At age 16, committing to take 5 kids and raise them, she's going to find a way. But through what miracle brought us together at this moment, so that we can become a part of the love that can bless our lives, through sharing and contributing that way. Now, so many miracles have been happening, but one of them was on that first day when they were all together. Heidi, is it okay if we share this magic moment of what happened? Actually, can you share? We don't have to share. I want definitely your permission, but the surprise that you planned, would you be willing to share a little bit about this?
Yeah, absolutely. When I knew we were coming to Nepal, Aran and I have been married for just over a year, and it was a hard year. I'm not gonna lie, it was so challenging. But love guided me to recommit to him and to our partnership. And so I reached out to Clint a couple weeks ago and I said, "Is there any way we could maybe renew our vows in Nepal? Do you have any ideas?" And I just remember your message back. You were laughing, and that laugh you do when you're just tickled by something, and you said, "I've got some ideas." And I said, "All I envision is just joy and, flowers." I just said, "I envision flowers being there." And you pulled off the most magical surprise with the kids. It was so beautiful. We were surrounded in this circle of love, and Aran's jaw just dropped. He didn't know what was going on. And oh, yeah, I think we have some footage or a photo maybe, but
Can you cue that
time
up and
stood
start
still.
that? Yeah, I want to play this. Is Aaron, is he on the call right now anywhere? Just curious.
I don't think he is. He went to drop in for a meditation. I think he may have fallen asleep. So he's not on the call. It was a big day.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. Cornelia, if you could start playing that. Okay, here we go. This is so fun.
2, 1.
Yeah, so the kids are surrounding in 2 rings. Instead of having 2 rings for their fingers, we had 2 rings wrapped around their arm. all the kids said, "We love you." And then with the red roses, they just started tossing them. One was a little bit early, but watch this.
Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful.
Then they all started cheering, and then they rushed them to hug them. I don't know if we have that on this particular video, but it's so beautiful. Oh, there's the final rose. Watch this one. Marina was in tears. Beverly was in tears. So beautiful. Again, another miracle of love. Here these kids are facing the possibility of not having a home, and then seeing so much love come from people all over the world. So many videos now from all over the world of people saying, "I love you and I'm with you." And in the moment of that critical situation, just being of so much service and love to Aaron and Heidi, to recommit. Instead of having 2 rings around the fingers, we had 2 rings around their heart, 2 rings of circle of these kids. And it was like such a beautiful moment. Aaron left a message on my phone saying that was easily perhaps the best moment of my life. And he was so surprised. It was so beautiful. Thank you, Heidi, for thinking of that and thinking, okay, I want to do something to recommit to love. Can you, because I think all of us, we get life is tough sometimes. We need to raise the fun and recommit to love. And can you share anything more about that recommitting to love, that process that maybe can help all of us in this moment?
Yeah, well, I think even tied to the seasons, being it's spring, thinking about renewal, and we can always be renewed. We can always take a moment in time to pause and really recommit to that love. And I thought, gosh, we're coming here. I wanted to do something special, and kind of planted the seed with you. But every day is an opportunity to recommit to that. And I thought, especially with our union, and just taking a moment while we're here to say I love you and I do all over again. And I think you said it best, Clint. You said we're recharging their marriage, we're recharging their love. And it was just so infused with such beauty and joy, and to look at all of their faces after they threw the flowers at us, it was just, I'll never forget that moment. It was so special. So thank you.
So beautiful. Oh, thank you, Heidi. Thank you for reminding us that at every moment we have a choice to recharge, to renew, to recommit. And thank you for being such a good example of that. The kids, they remind me so much to just go back to love. To be with them, it kind of makes it so that whatever else you thought was your troubles, it just kind of like, what are we worried about? And to see the joy and the presence, like you said, the presence, it was so powerful. There's some other people on the call right now who had a chance to spend time with them. I just want to because I know some people were asking how they can get that video and share it. I'm just going to put it in the chat right now, the video of Benita and her beautiful story. And then I'm also putting here a couple things. One is how you can become a part of the miracle, and it was mentioned in the video, but just sending your love makes a big difference. If the Mountain Children Home kids can send love and then also be thinking of ways that they can raise money to help their friends, then all of us, we have an opportunity to invest in, and to know that we can do that. It's going to where it's intended to, and that it will make an impact. And then the second is, if you want to invest in their future, I just put the link there too in the chat. Some of the other people on the call have seen them, met these kids. I don't know if any of them want to talk. Levi or Jules, or actually even Cornelia, Cornelia, you know, your intention on this call was to kind of connect again. What's it like watching those videos, bringing you back into that space?
Yeah, everything is just so touching because my experience with them was as well that they are so present, and seeing them just how they were throwing the roses at you, Heidi and Aaron. There's so much joy in them, and so much, really, they are just there, and it's so different from the children. I mean, I have 2 grandchildren, and seeing in a sense the difference, how present they really are with people, and that was really surprising to me, and to see that again is just so heartwarming. I cannot wait to go back. I have to say, I already, as I mentioned before, I miss them. And I had a personal experience with one of the girl, Javena, who was actually taking me up to the waterfall, and she was looking after me to make sure that I really got up there. It was pretty steep and slippery in some parts, and she watched every single step I took, made sure that I get up there safely, and the way she did it was with so much love and care. And these are all memories that I'm taking back, and the dancing and the singing and the laughter and the fun. And it was just such an amazing time. And I guess everyone who was there with us will say the same. And everyone who has never been there, I can only tell you, go to Nepal and meet these kids. They are awesome.
Yeah, and also, you know, the miracle of sending Bev, you know, and that Bev had this dream for 20 years to be there. And then it wasn't until she came on one of these calls and in the breakout room had the courage to say what she wanted. And then, man, to see her not only with the kids, but with the other caregivers, you know, the parents of the different home, and be in such a familiar place because she's been there raising over 100 foster kids, you know, and feeling that connection was really powerful for me. Jules, are you in a position you could share, or Levi or anyone else? Just want to give you a chance to share anything that happened in your heart in that space.
Yeah, I can share.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Jules go first, and then what, Levi, you can go second here.
Can't see so good. I'm on my phone. My experience was wild. I mean, being around so many kids and like really feeling them and like hugging them and them hugging me back. It wasn't just like shy, you know, some kids you hug and they're just like, you know, it's not really a hug. Each kid gave me a real hug. So it was like 60 real hugs all day. Like, that was something that really sticks with me. I mean, besides all my personal relationships with the kids, but you know, I feel like I met each one of them. I had a connection. You had us do a bunch of different exercises with them, which I thought was very courageous of you because they were kids. But like, they really did it. They looked into our eyes, and then it was fun, and it was like kooky, and it was serious. It was like all the things. And yeah, it was just really being with other beings. It was like ages didn't matter. It was, but I had some real profound experiences with those kids. I don't have any kids of my own, so I'm like telling everybody now, I have 60 kids. And one of my Nepali friends said, wow, you are really abundant. And I was like, wow, I'm really abundant. Like I felt the abundance of like having 60 kids. So I went from, so thank you.
Well, thank you. I remember after we walked away from the home on that last day, you were almost in tears, and you're like, oh, Clint, the events you put, you know, there's no preparation. But I just want to say, all of us have 60 kids. Actually, we have more than that, but these are the ones that you're aware of. And I just want to acknowledge the generosity and the love of when I've seen a stream of contributions come in for $10 and I celebrate it, or for as much as thousands of dollars and I celebrate it. And it just kind of, it's like for the last couple of days, I've been having this like stream of like ignition of re-belief in humanity, you know, recommitting to love, because there's so much love that's there. where people just want to feel a part of it. And so thank you so much, Jules, for reflecting that and being that. It was so fun to have you there. And I don't know, Levi, are you in a position you could share a little bit? Okay, let's have you on mute. Just 1 second. There we go.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I'm still actually like processing the whole journey. It was such a deep, you know, a lot of, when I first came back, everybody was asking me, how was your journey? How was your journey? And they watched it because I shared it on my Instagram a lot, on my storyline. And so a lot of people were able to watch it. And I'm like, man, it's really hard to explain it in words because it was a lot of spiritual stuff. It was like a lot of emotional connection and understanding who I was, because when I went out there, I wanted to understand more of my purpose, and connecting to those children was, it brought me back to like, cause I also was a foster kid and I had brothers and sisters that weren't actually like from my actual family, you know, and I remember connecting with them, and I don't know, they reminded me a lot of myself from when I was a child, but I didn't never went through the extensiveness of what those kids have went through. And so I was able to see not only like the blessings that have been in my life, because a lot of us sometimes we take for granted the life that we've had, and we've never had a childhood like these children have had, you know. And one of the main things that these kids, as they took me up, you know, they always questioned like how big my family was, you know. That was like a really big thing to them. And I remember I told them, you know, I have like 6 siblings, you know, and I explained every single one of them, because they asked really detailed questions and they're really good at English, and they it's really surprising. And I remember I'm sorry. Anyways, he asked me, so how many brothers do you have? And I said, I have 4. And he said, I said, how many do you have? And he says, I don't have any. And I'm like, oh, well, you have me now as a brother. But I knew what he meant, because he didn't have any. He was just there by himself. And his brothers were those guys, but he didn't have, like, his family was gone. You know, he didn't have a family anymore. And I don't know, it just really touched my heart. So like, there's just so much to process. I'm still processing so much. I've only been back, like, my trip got continuously delayed, and there was just so many different moments of like readjusting. And I'm about 36 hours back now, and like my sleep schedule is still like getting back, but I'm like still like I'm still trying to figure out a way, which I already have, that like my biggest way I can help these kids and help the Ancient Secrets. So I'm really excited. And it's really been life-changing for me. Thank you.
Levi is so powerful. Your presence with these kids. Okay, we send Levi some love right now. Let's send Levi some love. Put our hands together. We love you, Levi. I love you, and I'm with you. I love you, and I'm with you. Beautiful. Is there anyone else who was on? So now, how does this tie in with the Ancient Secrets, and how can the principles and the secrets on today's call change your life? Well, it's so many ways. You know, the Ancient Secrets is not just about home remedies or Marma points or, you know, herbal remedies or those kind of stuff. There's principles. Dr. Naram called this a school of thought, and a school of thought that every student can become a master, and every master is always a student. And so on today's call, exemplified by the life of Dr. Naram, exemplified by these kids, are 3 ingredients. You know, we have the ingredients for Hmong soup, but there's 3 ingredients for actually experiencing even more miracles in your life. And also healing, deep healing, and also just experiencing more of the flavor of all of life. Like Ina, like you said, you find fun in all of life. So is it okay if I share? I want to see you raise a hand. Who wants to hear at least what I observed in Dr. Naram, as far as 3 of the ways in which he was, that just inspired more magic all around him all the time? Raise your hand if you're interested in we share this. Okay, good. I'm going to share this. I just want to actually see the gallery view of all your beautiful faces. So beautiful. Alex, so good to see you. Michelle and Dr. Ann and Katie and Jimbo and Harvey and Marianne. I could just list everybody's name. Clarice, so good. Susan and Joseph. Wow, Karen. Ah, I love it. This is like addictive just to look at your faces and just smile. Phil, thank you so much for your generosity and love and contribution. And everyone, thank you for sending your love. So this is what Dr. Ram taught me, and we're going to go into breakout rooms and you're going to discuss how you can do this even more in your life. So first of all is presence. Dr. Ram was so present. You know, Dr. Giovanni shares a story about one time Dr. Ram was taking someone's pulse and a mosquito flew in and he saw it land on Dr. Ram's forehead as he was taking the pulse, and Dr. Ram didn't glitch at all. He took the pulse and was so present with that person, and we thought maybe he didn't know. And so afterwards, Giovanni was like trying to get the mosquito off, and Dr. Ram says, no, mosquito also needs to eat. Anyway, it was so present. Like people would fly halfway across the world just to spend 5 minutes with the man because he was so present in that moment that you could feel totally understood. So presence is the first one. The second is playfulness. Playfulness. He was so playful. Let's see, Vinay, are you still on the call? Dr. Stephen, if either of you are still on the call, but just an example of his playfulness. Man, all the time he was making us laugh and curious and, you know, just, oh yeah, Dr. Steve, you have any story about his playfulness? I don't know if, let's see, are you muted right now? Or are you on video? Is anyone else able to hear him, or is it just Cornelia? Can you hear Dr. Stephen? No. All right, Dr. Stephen. Okay. Okay, maybe he'll join. Let's see, Vinay. Vinay, I'm not sure if he's on camera right now, but man, I got so many examples of his playfulness. Kids loved him because he was right there and so playful. Anyone loved him. You know, one of the examples of playfulness that Joey shares is when he was going through the airport with him one day, and there's just a lot of people coming through the airport, and you know, because we're all on tour and we all have our bags, and whoever is the guard says, are you guys all together? And Dr. Ram says, aren't we all together in as humanity? Aren't we all together or all family or something like that? I gotta have Joey share that story. Okay, Dr. Stephen, you have any examples of Dr. Naram's playfulness?
So after a long day of clinic from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m., Dr. Naram they'd call up and they'd open up a movie theater or a restaurant, and we'd sit and watch a movie and eat popcorn, like fun. Like at first people would go, oh my God, look at the movie we're going to. And you just saw his joy in seeing this action.
Yeah, so true. You know, I would think about that today as I was coming back from one of his favorite ancient temples. I drove past a movie theater we went through in Nepal where it was like a Jason Statham movie, and he loved the action heroes. You know, he always wanted to see James Bond or Jason Statham or Liam, whatever. I can't remember all their names, but it's so fun. He just liked that part of things, and he would just fully enjoy it. You know, it's so true. Okay, so what's the first one? Presence. Second one, playfulness. And the third principle that he was living was service, seva, service. You know, Dr. Steve was talking about the end of the clinics. Also at the end of clinics, sometimes it would be 2, 3 a.m. And then he would surprise us, his students. We thought it was bedtime because we were exhausted, but he would bring us on the streets where we would put blankets on the homeless, you know, at 2, 3 a.m. And he's like, you know, they're cold. You may be tired, but they're cold. And so when you do these things, when you're more present, and today, why not today on this Sunday of Sundays, integrate these 3 principles in your life with those you love and have more presence, more playfulness, and more service. And my promise, it's funny, I feel actually inspired to give a guarantee, which I wasn't planning on doing, but a guarantee that as you integrate more playfulness, presence, and service, you are going to not only see more miracles, but just enjoy your life so much more. And so we're going to go into the breakout room pretty soon. But one of the examples of the people who I've seen that has gone, and you can transmute heavy energy. Dr. Naram says you can transmute fear, sadness, or anger into happiness through this alchemy, these ingredients. One of the people I've been so inspired who came on our call, Shifra, and I don't know if you guys remember, but she shared her heart about the struggle she was in, and this community rallied around her to serve. And she has a poem that is unbelievable and so inspiring. Is it okay if before we go in the breakout rooms, you hear this powerful poem from Shifra? Who wants to hear this poem? I just want to see. Okay, I see lots of hands clapping.
Great. Oh, that's
Shifra,
great. I'm
Oh,
here.
good.
Yeah. And I just
Oh,
came
good.
on this morning after someone was saying, like, shine your light, like just like, show what's good inside of you and your life will get a lot better. So here's this poem. Because
First of all, you were great, Shifra. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really can't express how loving people have been to me, and I have not been an easy person, let me tell you. But just so many people, like Casey has been so wonderful, like a brother. I just, and oh my God, I hope I remember everybody's names. Oh my goodness.
And a bunch of other people calling you.
There,
let's just
all the people
Shifra,
that are calling, forgive me, I'm too funny. But here's this.
No problem. Shifra, before you read this poem, Casey, you want to say something?
I was just helping her remember the people, Michelle and Raven and
Thank you, Michelle, who's just been
Lucci.
unbelievable. Michelle has been incredible, listening, so much love. Raven, I've talked to for long stretches. She helped me do this ritual around forgiveness. Wait, there's another person.
Lucci.
Oh my goodness. Wait,
Lucci.
906? Lucci. I'm sorry, I thought it was a guy because I know a guy named Lucci. Lucci has been amazing. People have just been willing to help me with so many different things. Did I forget anybody's name? I feel terrible. People have been so kind and so generous and so loving. And I just feel like they have no desire other than to help. Like this, I said, Casey, your agenda is to help me have a good life. That's your agenda.
Well, before you read this poem, Shifra, I just want to remind everyone. So it was a couple weeks ago when, there's so much love on the call, but she expressed something that some of us feel. You can have a miracle one day and the next day feel depressed or discouraged, and sometimes we feel like we're not the easiest cases. There's parts of us that we don't even love in ourselves. Anyone have that experience where you're just like, man, I'm a difficult case? Okay, beautiful. So now Shifra gave us the gift of loving her in that moment so we could love ourselves in those moments where we feel unlovable. The ups and downs of life, sure, it's easy in the midst of so much, but what if you're surrounded by love and you don't feel it? How do you even love you? How do you even accept yourself in that space? And she wrote such a powerful poem that I think just is like the exclamation point on this call of the miracles that can come when you just let love guide. So Shifra, I'm going to turn it over to you. Please, you have to unmute yourself and then share your powerful poem.
If you're having uncomfortable feelings, let yourself have them. It's just that I'm trying to learn how to have them and not take them out on other people. Like it's not the feelings themselves that are the problem. It's if you can let them be expressed in a way that doesn't hurt yourself and doesn't hurt other people. Because sometimes it's because you're trying to reach for something. You might have rage because you want to help people, but you don't quite know how to. And, there are things that get in our way because there's a lot going on in the world today. And when I see, that's beautiful that you go and you see homeless people and you're putting blankets. And I feel the same way. I don't want to just walk by all the homeless people in my community or the people who are dealing with drug addiction. But if we can bring love to it and care, then I don't know, then I don't know. I was reading about a woman named Fannie Lou Hamer. She was a civil rights activist in Mississippi, very poor woman. And she stood up and she spoke out against terrible oppression that people were facing. But she was loving to people, and she didn't hate the white people who were doing really terrible things. But she stood up and she embraced people, and she took, she was the best person she could be, and it wasn't easy. So anyway, that's it. But I don't want to say too many more words, but that's it. I think I want an embracing world where we take care of one another. And maybe I've been hurt because sometimes that doesn't happen. But I don't want to be hurting people and just full of resentment and anger. I want to be actively loving myself first. And that's been hard. Sometimes it's hard to love ourselves. I want to love myself because I often, I want other people to love me, but I don't feel it inside of my own heart. So here we go. Okay, don't wait. Okay, don't wait. Now's the time. You're fine as you are, even with all your scars. Don't wait till you're better. Put on a sweater made of everything you are. The wounds, the pain, the love, the scars, the loneliness, the beauty. I am, you are. Walk forth into the world as a healer, a dancer, a teacher, a learner, a poet, a worker, a scavenger of lost sparks, a dreamer, a chewer, a doer, a lion, a mouse, a child, a woman, a man, someone in between, a storyteller, a builder, a singer, an artist, a gardener, a grandma, a grandpa, a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, a child, a sister, a brother, a lover, a friend, a rule breaker, a follower of the laws of love, a castigator of what hurts the hater in me and you and us. Don't wait, no matter what anyone tells you, including yourself, especially yourself. You're good enough as you are. I'm good enough as I am. We are good enough as we are. Ride the storm, walk the streets, sit in silence, listen to your heartbeat, cook some good food, be rude when you need to, and kind, and be yourself, and love and love and love and love just as you are. You may not know it. I may not know it. We may not know it. We're all stars. So shine right here, right now, and how the world and you and I, more than ever, more than ever, more than ever needs your light, my light, our light. Somehow it's going to be all right. It is all right, despite the searing pain. We'll utter God's true name, and that name in whatever language or form is love.
Wow. Amazing. So beautiful. I'm just reading the comments in the chat, and people are sending you so much love, Shifra. In fact, they want a copy of it. Can I ask a request?
Sure.
For everyone who's already donated to the beautiful orphan kids to rescue this home in the next week, is it okay if we send them your poem as a gift? Just a gift of love?
Of course. I would love that. It would just be fantastic. Yeah.
And then is it okay if we
did anybody need it? Did people get it? I don't know if I've a place where I can send it where everyone can get it. I will be happy to send it again. And yeah.
Absolutely. And then even I want to read it to the kids this week. So,
that's beautiful. I love that idea. That's fantastic.
Right now. And actually, because we're at the hour mark, we're going to go into breakout room in a second and discuss about these principles, how we can be more present, more playful, more of service. We'll go into the breakout rooms, but to Shifra, to the beautiful orphan kids, and to everyone, it's okay if we at least end this hour portion of the call before the breakout rooms. I'll ask you to unmute yourself, we can go like this and we can just do our tradition of I love you and I'm with you. So go ahead and put your hands together, everyone. Put your hands together. Shiva and all kids, I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you and I'm with you.
I love you
I love you and I'm with you.
love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you, child.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you. And I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Thank you.
I love you and I'm
Love
with
you
you.
and I'm with you.
Love you.
I love you and I'm with you.
That is so beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for showing up and being that light. And thank you, Shifa, for reminding us that even the moments we may be surrounded by love, we don't feel it. We can accept ourselves, our whole emotion, the whole of ourself, whatever is whatever is this moment is the gift. And I want to thank also the orphan kids for reminding me, and Dr. Naram for reminding me about presence, about playfulness, and about seva, about service. All of us can do that because we're all breathing. We're all alive. We have life in us. We don't need to have millions or billions in the bank account, although that's fine if we do. We don't need to have the most amazing body or awards or anything. All we need to do is just say, okay, today I'm going to be more present. And miracles are going to happen. Today, I'm going to be more playful. Miracles will happen. Today, I'm going to be more of service. You don't have to come to Nepal. You don't have to be with orphan kids. You don't have to. You could just do it with whoever you're with, including yourself. In this moment, on this day, you can commit to these three things. So we're going to go in the breakout room. And if you're watching this as a recording, I highly encourage you to talk to someone and say, here's how I want to integrate these three principles more into my life. Or you can give an example in the breakout room of one of the times where you did it. You were playful and the breakthrough that happened, the transformation that happened, or you were more present or more of service. And those three together, when you combine them, man, what a great combination. So I want to thank everyone for being on this call. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. I encourage you to stay because that's where so much of the magic happens. But if you need to go, we love you. We'll look forward to seeing you next Sunday where we have a really special treat planned for you. You'll see right now the breakout rooms opening up. And I just want to say that I love you. I'm with you. Namaste from Nepal. And we'll see you soon.